Next week for the Quest Wednesdays, the theme is the power of pain. And yeah, curious, what would you like to say about that?
Yeah, to get into this subject, I had to think about a painful experience, to kind of understand it for myself. And I recalled a time a few years ago when a relationship had just ended quite quickly. And also, I was made homeless from my flat, all within a couple of days of each other. So it's quite painful, actually, because I'd planned for this relationship. I was planning into the future, but I didn't really see that coming, and I didn't see the eviction coming. So it was a shock, and so it was painful. And I thought, actually, what was the power in that experience for me? And what it really clarified was that for me, when I'm in pain, I at some point go to clarity. It kind of helps me to get to clarity, and it also brings out a determination in me. So what happened in that instance was I thought, okay, your plans are kind of gone. What do you want to do? And I used it as an impetus to really become creative. And I decided I wasn't going to get another flat. I was going to do some traveling. I was going to put all my stuff into storage, and I was going to go out into the world and explore. And I don't think I wouldn't have done any of that if the pain of those experiences hadn't come to light. So it really, for me, it kind of gets me out of that velvet rut. My life is sometimes it feels like a rut. It's velvet line, it's comfortable, but sometimes pain jolts me out of that, and it kind of propels me forward. And I make some choices that I ordinarily wouldn't make in my day-to-day life. So those were some of my initial reflections, actually, about the power of pain.
Oh wow, I love that. I love how you always bring examples to these things. Really, really, really powerful. Actually, I think what was coming up for me, a number of things. One was that difference between physical pain and emotional pain. So for me, with the physical pain, so it might be, I stub my toe on a piece of furniture, for instance, and I feel it in that moment. It dominates everything. And then at some point, it disappears, it goes. And then there's the emotional pain where I might feel it in the moment. And then I might feel it again 6 weeks down the line, a year down the line, still that same incident. It vibrates much longer for me, that emotional pain. So that was one thing that was coming to mind. And the other thing that was coming to mind was the emotional pain is sort of on a spectrum. So there is a one which might be, yeah, it's painful, but not that painful. And there might be a 10. A 10 is, I do not want to get out of bed. And it tends to vary depending on the situation. And I think the higher to a 10, and I'm using 10 as a maximum here, the higher to a 10 it is, the more I can't even pronounce the word, inca,
Encapsulating,
in, the,
whatever that word is. Yeah.
the more out of my power I am. So when it's a 10, the more I sort of just want to hide under the duvet and not do anything. And if it's somewhere in the middle, I can bring on that rational part of my brain. I can do the perspective taking. So an example that happened just a couple of days ago, I was meant to be chatting with a friend. I was really looking forward to it, and they had to cancel. And I remember feeling that emotional pain. And so it was pain in the moment, but then it was also pain for everyone else who had never shown up for appointments. It wasn't just about that pain. And I think in terms of that spectrum, it probably was about a 5, a 6. And I was able to sit with it. And the power for me was, this is an opportunity to heal the pain of all the previous situations where this has happened. So
Mhm.
for me, that is the big power of pain, the opportunity to actually not just heal the pain in the moment, but to heal the pain from the past as well.
Wow, wow. That's fantastic. I love everything you're saying. Yeah, I recognize that. I hadn't, it's funny because I hadn't even thought about physical pain. I automatically went to psychological. That's interesting. I'll take that away. But I think it's going to be really interesting to get the range of experiences and the insights from the guys at the meeting. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really rich, interesting conversation. Looking
Yeah,
forward to it.
me too. I'm looking forward to it too.